The constitutional rights of the citizens have been stripped by the present government of the United States. The First Amendment of the Constitution reads as follows, quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances, unquote. Effective January 5th, 2009, a law was enacted which effectively obliterated the First Amendment. The problematic section of the law is as follows. United States Code, Title 18, Chapter 115, Section 2385, advocating overthrow of government. Whoever knowingly or willingly advocates, abets, advises, or teaches the duty, necessity, desirability, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States or the government of any state, territory, district, or possession thereof, or the government of any political subdivision therein, by force or violence, or by the assassination of any officer of any such government, or whoever, with intent to cause the overthrow or destruction of any such government, prints, publishes, edits, issues, circulates, sells, distributes, or publicly displays any written or printed matter advocating, advising, or teaching the duty, necessity, desirability, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying any government in the United States by force or violence, or attempts to do so, or whoever organizes or helps or attempts to organize any society, group, or assembly of persons who teach, advocate, or encourage the overthrow or destruction of any such government by force or violence, or becomes or is a member of or affiliates with any such society, group, or assembly of persons, knowing the purpose thereof, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both, and shall be ineligible for employment by the United States or any department or agency thereof for the 5 years next following his conviction. If two or more persons conspire to commit any offense named in this section, each shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years, or both, and shall be ineligible for employment by the United States or any department or agency thereof for the 5 years next following his conviction. As used in this section, the terms organizes and organize with respect to any society, group, or assembly of persons include the recruiting of new members, the forming of new units, and the regrouping or expansion of existing clubs, classes, and other units of such society, group, or assembly of persons. This concludes the reading of this section of the law. The problem with this law is that in previous sedition laws there was a condition that the law would be effective only in periods of wartime. This section of law does not have that condition. This law and section is effective and can be enforced at any time. The activities that are specified are general. They cover many professions and civil activities. The law attempts to intimidate the general populace. It lists, for instance, quote, prints, publishes, edits, issues, circulates, sells, distributes, or publicly displays any written or printed matter advocating, advising, or teaching the duty, necessity, desirability, or propriety of overthrowing or destroying any government in the United States by force or violence, or attempts to do so, unquote. This section is so general as to include all media ever created by man. It also would include many American institutions. This entire section is contrary to the American Constitution and nullifies the Bill of Rights. This law makes very clear the intentions of this government, a government of political parties. Their movement toward an ever-increasing totalitarian society is more obvious. All that it would take would be a presidential executive order declaring martial law to initiate the enforcement of this section. The real title of this law should be the Bill of Rights Nullification Act. This section does not specifically define what type of government they are trying to protect. The present government that is stated is not the government of the people, by the people, or for the people. Apparently that government already has been overthrown by the political parties. And what is the definition of overthrow? Government, politics, and diplomacy define it as to the effect, the downfall or destruction of a ruler or institution, etc., especially by force, or downfall or destruction. That is what the general definition of overthrow is. This section states and uses the words force or violence. It attempts to equate them. They are not equal things. We understand what violence is. We do not condone violence. Neither does the First Amendment. After all, they talk about the peaceful assembly. The definition of force is an intellectual power or vigor, especially as conveyed in writing or speech, moral strength, a capacity for affecting the mind or behavior, the efficacy, the force of logical argumentation, or one that possesses such capacity, intellectual, social, political, or moral influence or strength is another. And those definitions describe the First Amendment, the right of the people to do those things, the right of the governed, and those that are governing should not make laws that negate that.